This episode is dedicated to all those who have fought cancer. Rack focus. Good afternoon, everyone. Johnny O from the Plot Hole. It's been a wild week, so let's get after it. Let's not beat around the bush. You're all thinking about it, so why not talk about it? That's right, yesterday was Halloween, and we all know what Halloween brings, ghosts and goblins. And Team Skeptic highlighted our first monster sighting of the week with the Karen.
Oh, hey guys, and welcome to today's window licking lesson. Today's instructor will be Karen, and she's a window licking pro. So let's begin.
I don't wear a mask.
I'm sorry, we're not serving people without masks.
You're not serving people, that's discrimination.
I'm sorry, but entitlement is not a discriminatory characteristic covered by the ADA. So if you don't want to be discriminated against because you're so entitled, Karen, then just don't be so entitled, Karen.
You want to discriminate?
It's just a policy.
Well, is it a law? Should we call the sheriff and ask him to explain the law?
My manager told me that.
Well then, let's call law enforcement, because this is a problem.
Yeah, you're right. It is a problem. They told you to leave because they won't serve you without a mask, and you're refusing to leave. At this point, the problem is you're trespassing, and I guarantee you don't want them to call the sheriff.
Unfortunately, Karens are year-round, but don't worry, they're easy to spot. I mean, with their shrill voices, their sense of self-entitlement, and their constant loud demands to speak to the manager. Alright, I know that isn't the elephant you thought it was going to be, nor is it the monster you wanted to discuss. Sasquatch was found lurking behind some private business. Schrodinger's cat deconstructed North Carolina tyrant hunter's stupid position of auditing a private business.
Hi folks, I think most of you remember North Carolina tyrant hunter. I've made multiple videos about him, including the one when him and his mom's sister got arrested. Y'all remember him, he's this guy.
Cause I was at work. Here he goes!
You ain't been at work, cause my boy ain't gonna work. You know how damn hard I work trying not to work just to have you work?
I'm working at the car wash, making me some damn money.
Money?
Money?
Money! Hell yeah!
We made it!
Somebody in this family done made some damn money!
Give up the money!
Well, he recently got arrested again, to the surprise of no one.
All right, guys, I'm at Winfro Distribution Center in Clinton, South Carolina, doing a First Amendment audit.
I'm out here with 18 tyrant hunters today. He came down to South Carolina.
Let's see if they respect their rights.
Yes, he is out of civilian business, asking them to respect his rights. This is how far fraudsters have fallen.
I would like to talk to the supervisor. Sergeant, okay. Well, okay, explain to me.
So I'm asking you one more time.
Explain to me how that
to
works.
Provide me your identification.
Are you going to arrest me if I don't?
I'm asking you to provide me with your identification.
Clarify. Well, I'll be arrested.
Are you not going to identify yourself to me?
If I'm going to get arrested, if I don't, I will. I said I will, sir.
It's too late now. It is now stupid prize time.
I mean, seriously, auditing a private business? Yes, private businesses, those known offenders of the First Amendment, just so, I can't even finish the joke, it's so stupid. Dr. Dave, the beer professor, has found another monster lurking in the night. The sovereign citizen. The sovereign citizen has one true weakness, his or her own mouth.
I have the right to remain silent. Anything I say can't be willed to use against me in a court of law. I don't give up my right. And you're Officer Pollock, is it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I do refuse to answer any questions, Officer Pollock.
We're going to have play on the vehicle, so...
Sir, if you read those, I have the right to travel. I have the right to remain silent. Sir, any questions you ask me are under duress. I do not answer any questions.
Sounds as though the bloody moron has given himself the Miranda warning. I believe he has the Miranda warning confused with the Fifth Amendment, which is partially the right to remain silent. Let's continue and see what happens.
Sir, I have the right to travel. I have the right to remain silent. Anything I say can and will be used against me in a court of law. I do not give up my right to remain silent.
So you don't want to give me your license?
Sir, anything that you ask me is under duress.
Alright, well here's this back real quick.
Sure.
Did you make their stuff on the
No, sir, I don't. Not unless I'm under arrest or I do not consent to a search. I have the right to travel.
You do have the right to travel, sonny boy, but you must also realize that you need a license, insurance, and your vessel must be registered, or else you can't travel in the United States of America. Now let's get on with this.
And let that be a lesson to all you soft sits highlighted by Dr. Dave the Beer Professor. Don't evoke your right to remain silent all the while not remaining silent. Well, we've almost collected the entire Monster Squad. We've got just one left. And leave it to my favorite Welshman with no accent, Creaky Blinder, to find him. CC Chris from New York, Westchester County, has once again demonstrated his lack of awareness.
In today's video, we're going to be taking a look to see whether the P1000 by Nikon does in fact prove that the Earth is flat.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
Oh, please, no. CC's got a P1000.
Wherever you may be, CC is
But clearly no microphone, so let's see what we can do with this video. Please subscribe.
It's Saturday, somewhere at the end of September 2021. This is the best place to go to. If you want to prove to everybody, there's absolutely no curvature.
Yeah, what better place to go than the beach? You know, that place that's usually got an uninterrupted view of the horizon. A thing that we only have because the Earth is a globe.
You see,
A what? If there was ever any doubt that CC was a moron, as if there was, what the hell is he doing?
there's a battleship right over there.
A battleship? Sorry, I'm getting a bit old. Well, obviously, we all know that ships absolutely prove by going over the horizon, that thing that we only have because the Earth is a globe, that thing we only have because the Earth is a globe, as I've already said, absolutely proves that the Earth is somehow flat.
My goodness, CC, get a mic, man! CC continues his quest for total stupidity as he continues to ignore reality. Finally, yes, it's time for me to address the real issue that's been plaguing us this past week. I'd be a fool not to acknowledge the Virgo Triad fiasco. I'd also not be honest if I didn't acknowledge the lack of oversight on my end. Yes, I interviewed Schrodinger's cat and a Marvel girl in order to go over and make sure that they did their due diligence in order to properly vet this fundraiser. Now, at the time, the only story that we had from Virgo Triad is that there was a house fire and that she and her spouse were in the hospital. Both of those facts were verified. My focus on that story was to show that the funds that Schrodinger's cat raised were going to that cause. I was given loads of evidence to show that those funds did exactly that. However, I didn't take the time in order to properly vet the person receiving the funds. That was my mistake, and one that I won't be making again in the future. However, as an honest journalist, I would not be doing my job if I didn't acknowledge that I could have done more. Secondly, Generation Nation and a Marvel girl both reached out to me independently in order to have me corroborate and verify some information they were given about Virgo Triad. They asked that I look over some of the information that was provided to Kate from the Masshole report. I dug into the information, investigated, and came to the same conclusion that the Masshole report came to. As I have stated in the past, doxing is not something that I take lightly. So I had to weigh many things when deciding whether to or not to release a story about Virgo and her scams. I was conflicted because Virgo Triad had gone through lengths in order to keep her personal information private, something that we generally respect around here. However, the reason behind her privacy wasn't an honest one. She fought to remain anonymous as part of her con. She knew that as soon as people found out who she was, that would expose her for the scammer and the con artist that she truly is. And there's the issue. Where do we draw the line with our ethics? When is it okay to bend what we believe to be an unbreakable rule in order to expose someone who's taking advantage of people? I recently released a video on Chris Jones showing his offender registry, his convictions, etc. Is that an acceptable doxing of someone because he's a convicted child molester who had unsupervised access to children? I think it is. I think in that case it was important to get that out there in order to deter or hopefully warn someone before they take their children out to Dinosaur Adventureland and possibly be exposed to this type of monster. Some don't. Does Virgo Triad's transgressions warrant the same type of dox? Is her crime that similar to Chris Jones's? When isn't it okay to dox someone in order to protect other people? And who's the arbiter of that? These are the reasons why I hesitated to cover this story. I don't know about many of you, but this was a difficult one, and not just because of the facts of the case, but because the ethical responsibility in reporting this was in question. I try to hold myself to a higher set of standards. I try to be at least somewhat of a consistent voice of reason. Sometimes I fail. I'm only human after all. And that's our show. As I stated earlier, this one is dedicated to those who are battling cancer. I'm sure you noticed that the beard went from pink to blue as I continue to do what little I can in order to help those in need. I know fundraising is a 4-letter word these days, so I will only advocate for direct donations to whatever cancer research or cancer fighting organization you wish to donate. Do so because you want to. Do so because you can. Not because I told you to. To those of you who are currently dealing with the shitty situation of watching a loved one battle cancer, my heart truly goes out to you. I hope you can find peace in the memories made and to be made. Thank you for stopping by.